evening, ladies. After a long weekend, we're moving on with our learning, and we're moving on to the next stage, and he explains how the faith of believing that there is Hashem and that he created the world, how it has different levels. And he explains how Judaism is not Christianity. In a way, it's a little hard to explain, and I'll give you a short story to explain it. When I was doing my national service during my first year, I used to guide. I used to do work a lot with kids, and one of the things I had to do also, I used to guide tours at an exhibition at the Jewish quarter in Jerusalem, and I used to teach about Bet HaMikdash. And because I used to guide tours in English, most of my groups were Christians, and we had to learn about Christianity in order to do so. And I remember how shocked I was at the way that their faith is very, very emotional and nothing more. Like, for example, every time they would try to convert me, and that happened often, they would tell me stories about dreams they had and how Jesus revealed himself to them, and it's something that happened only to them. And it's not like they didn't have a logical explanation and logical reason why they believe. It's just their feeling. And Judaism, it's not like that. We're obligated in many different places. I'll give you the psukim. I'll send you a message, but we're obligated to learn. We're obligated to investigate, and we're obligated to question. We're not supposed to have faith just because we have the feelings, but because we know. We need to get to the level of knowing that there is Hashem and knowing that he created the world. So he speaks about the different levels that there are, and he starts with the lowest level, that are people who would talk about Hashem or use terms like Baruch Hashem, with Hashem's help, or Toda La'el, or thank God, or things like that. But it's not because they really believe it. It's just because this is what people say. So they will use the same kind of speech, but it's not that they really believe. The second level is people who do believe. They do believe in their hearts, and they would say it, but they only believe it because this is the way they were brought up. This is the way their parents were. This is the way they were raised. So they have faith. They could even have strong faith, but they can't explain it, and they can't really question it. It ends up as a feeling, which is something very good. But on the other hand, if they would have been brought up in a Christian family, they would have been Christian. And if they would have been brought up in a Muslim family, they would have been Muslims, and they would have had this strong faith as well. And the third level are people who have faith, that they did investigate, and they questioned, and they learned, and they don't only have faith that they believe, they know. They got to the level of knowing that there is Hashem, and knowing he created the world, and it's something that it's definitely a higher level, but their understanding of what is Hashem is wrong. For example, kids imagine Hashem as like an old person sitting on a cloud, or you think of Hashem as if he's angry at you, or he's sad, like you give Hashem feelings, or your perception of what is Hashem is wrong. If, for example, you think that Hashem has needs. For example, he needs our prayers. He needs you to keep Shabbat, or like different things like that. These are wrong. And so there's a higher level to get to, which is knowing that there's Hashem, investigating and questioning and knowing it and really believing it, but to the higher level of knowing, because you learned it, because you questioned it, and you got to it after you proved it to yourself, and your understanding of what is Hashem is right, and that is the highest level. And the question here to be asked is, do we really have to question, to doubt, to investigate, to prove it? Can't we? What if I have a feeling, I just feel like it's so natural, it's so strong, like why do I have to prove it? Why do I have to question it? And there's a list of psukim that I will send you, but basically all those psukim have the word to know. We're obligated to know that there is Hashem. Just having the faith, it's very good, but there is a higher level that we are supposed to get to. Oh, it's a very long video. I'm gonna cut it a little. So the next step, so how do we do it? If we have the obligation of knowing that there is a God, and we have the obligation to question and to doubt and to prove our faith, so how do we do it? So the first level, according to our book, is to prove, first of all, we have to prove that the world was created. Before we get to who created it, we need to prove that the world was created. After you prove that there was someone who created it, and I don't know how to say it in English, like something that created the world, now you need to prove, you need to prove who it was. If it was two, it was one, what this identity is, what is it, what does it want, why did it create the world, and so on and so forth. And after you finish proving all these things and knowing them with clarity, that's when you can say, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. You can say the pasuk that it's a testimony of knowing what is Hashem, and knowing that He created the world, and knowing that He's our God. And we're going a little deeper. I think you feel it, and I'm hoping that we'll keep on doing it every day. We'll keep on learning. I'm very much enjoying it, and I'm hoping that you do as well. Bye, good evening.